Hello, today I'd like to talk about my favorite deck of all time in Yu-Gi-Oh! The Agents. So I've been playing this deck for more than 10 years now, and I've played through all variants of it. I've play tested a bunch of things, and I would just like to, showcase and maybe talk about some strategies that are more so fun and just like to express my love for the deck. So yeah, so for starters, I'm running 3 Agent of Mystery Earth. This is the main starter of the deck. It's also a tuner. There's lots of tuners in the deck, and I'll show why I'm playing more tuners than the average person. But for the time being, 3 Agent of Earth, very self-explanatory. Next, I have 3 Neptune. This is one of the newest cards from the deck, and this is the card that makes this deck way better than it used to be, for sure. You know, it's just I almost want to just play like maybe one Jupiter, just have a level 4 name because for certain synchros and for Uranus. But yeah, so the combo in this deck involves this card right here. You go and you search either Venus. More often than not, you search Venus with Earth, and then you special Venus with Neptune, and off to the races you go. So yeah, 3 Neptune, beautiful card. Bringing Sanctuary out from like when this is banished, you search your deck for Sanctuary in the Sky. Also super relevant. I'll get that in a minute. 3 Agent of Creation Venus. Now Venus also a very important card. Throughout since the very beginning, it's also one of the first agent monsters. Uh, so summoning Shine Ball does suck. That's kind of like an inherent weakness of the deck, but I have ways to make like Shine Ball an inherent strength, right? So, I mean, that's what the deck's all about, is getting out as many fairy monsters as possible and commanding a board stay with fairies in graveyard for Master Hyperion and just in like fairy support in graveyard in general. So, 3 Venus, super important card. It just sucks that it doesn't have Sanctuary of the Sky in its text, but it is an agent monster, so it's at least searchable off Earth, and it's searchable off Sacred Waters to the Sky, if I'm not mistaken. It's also level 3, also pretty important. 2 Uranus. I can't stress enough how good this card is. I've seen people play 1 of this card, but it's really important. It's a level 5 tuner that special summons itself for free, not once per turn, by having Sanctuary in the Sky on the field. And you can level modulate it by sending an agent monster from your deck to the graveyard. That's why I'm considering maybe playing level 4 like Jupiter, but not necessarily necessary. Just no room, really. It just sucks that Mercury and Jupiter are just relics of the past. I mean, Mercury wasn't even good even back then, but I remember playtesting Mercury, and I think I've only gotten Mercury's effect off maybe once or twice ever. Jupiter was really good, but there's just no place for normal summon a beat stick anymore. So, this is very good. It dumps a monster. So again, it dumps a monster from your deck to the graveyard, comes its level, and it's a tuner monster. So then you go into most of your big synchro plays because it's a free body on board that goes into your bigger synchro plays. 1 Destruction Venus. Destruction Venus for the combo. It's pretty. I mean, if you haven't seen before, you just once you make Master Flare Hyperion, you go ahead and you send this, if you already did your Shine Ball plays with your Venus, to go ahead and make more Shine Ball plays. It's a little bit of an overextender, but you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to do it on turn 1. You can do it as a recovery play on your second turn, so it's really good as well. Then I play 1 Majesty and 1 Hyperion. Majesty Hyperion is also really important again for the combo. You send it to grave off Moon. Special summon it from your graveyard, banishing Neptune. Neptune grab back the add the Sanctuary of the Sky, play Sanctuary of the Sky, and then you can go Majesty into a Link play or a Synchro play. On field effect is pretty cool, but it doesn't come off too often about burn damage, and banishing from graveyard also really good if you're not going first. Master Hyperion, he's a really good one of. He's level 8. Going to synchro plays easy. He's also a good boss monster, very generic, very good, but you wouldn't play more than one. But when you do his effect, he's great. But yeah, so that's that. Next, we have some non-agent monsters. So we have triple Diviner of the Herald. Diviner of the Herald is a 1-card combo in this deck. It puts Trias Hierarchy into the graveyard, and then it Trias special summon, tributing the Diviner. Diviner then special summons Bhutan, and then you can go in your Synchro 10 plays from there. So 1-card combo, really powerful card. It's also a level 2 tuner. A lot of tuners in this deck. Triple Orange Light. Orange Light is a hand trap that negates any effect monster, whether it be in their hand, anywhere, it doesn't matter. So it negates hand traps even. Powerful card by discarding other fairies along with it. It's also a tuner. Triple Shine Ball. Can't go wrong without it. Nothing more to say. Yeah, it being a vanilla monster does matter, and I'll do some experimentation showing for that too. I have currently 2 Logolith. Logolith is also a good chain block card, if anything, and an extender, but this isn't super necessary, but it is a really powerful card. I'm thinking about just playing the 1 and then having this as a flex spot. Maybe do some experimentation with Eva now that it's back to 1, or play some generic non-engine maybe like a pot card or something. Wouldn't be such a bad option either. So Logolith, very good card on the field. Ash, hand trap, just whatever. The Bhutan and Trias Hierarchy for the Diviner. Bhutan's really good because then you can turn your Shine Balls into a tuner and you can go into things like Cupid Pitch, or maybe you can go into some weird play like going to Pluto if they hand trapped you. Pluto is also a really good card when you have Sanctuary in the Sky for quick effect Book of Moon effects, so also really good. 1 Draco Worm, just as a experimentation card. It can be special summon itself when you have a vanilla monster anywhere on the field, so your Shine Ball. It's a level 2 tuner. You go into your Synchro plays. When it's used for a Synchro summon, you go ahead and make a Dragon 100 Apples token. So level 2 can be used for Synchro summons too, but if anything, it's an extender for Link summoning, and I mean, you can Synchro if you want, but really good for your Synchro plays as well. It's not necessary, but this card's really good. Christia for your Parshath plays. Comes up in matchups where you'd have a hard time winning anyway. Like if your sideboard just isn't enough to cut it, you can always go into Christia as your fallback plan. Really good card. Hard to out when you have protection effects on field. 1 Sanctuary in the Sky. I thought about playing 2, but here's why I'm not playing 2. Besides it being a hard card to play around because it's not very good as by itself, but you need it for all your agent plays. It's really important. But the reason why I only play 1 is because I'm experimenting with 2 other field spells, 1 Chicken Game and 1 Summon Breaker. And the reason why I'm doing this is because of Ancient Fairy Dragon. Even with the errata guys, Ancient Fairy Dragon's really good. So you're going to be having this card anyways, no matter what, for your combo. So you have Sanctuary in the Sky, and then you go into Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon could then get rid of this, and then you summon Summon Breaker. Or if you just happen to have one of these 2 already, you can play the Chicken Game, and then I wouldn't grab Sanctuary Sky because you're going to go for it anyway, but you go grab Chicken Game, add this to your hand, Ancient Fairy Dragon, add this to your hand, play Sanctuary, then continue your combo. End of your combo play, you play the Summon Breaker, which then is a hard floodgate for your opponent because they have to either pop it or they're going to have a hard time on their next turn. So, again, there's ways to protect this card. This is just generic draw engine. Why not play it when you can just get rid of it yourself on your turn with Ancient Fairy Dragon, and then you play the 1 field spell anyway, so it should be guaranteed to at least pop something for Summon Breaker, which is a good card to have. Next, going into, we have Triple Sacred Waters. Very powerful card. Indeed, it is a good searcher. It gains you life points. It has a protection for protection effect engrave. The only thing that sucks is that it's once per turn, but that's fine because otherwise it'd be, really, really good. You can't have that in a retro deck, right? Gotta push the Snake Eyes and U-Bells and whatever crazy shit's going on nowadays. But again, this is just my favorite deck. You can play things like Dimension Shifter if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't play like things like Ringo Worm or like any of these other experimentations at that point. Monster Reborn, Call the Haunted, Fallen Sanctuary. Fallen Sanctuary is really good. It's like an imperm. Also counts as Sanctuary on the sky in the field, which still matters. Once you pop your Sanctuary for like whatever you need to do, and this being faced on the field, you can still do your plays that require Sanctuary in the sky. So that's pretty interesting. Call by the Grave and Monster Born, just generic, good cards. That's it for the main deck. Going into the extra deck now, I have one Hyperion Master Flare. Really good card for your combos. Is on-field disruption, really good. 3,200's nothing to sneeze at. It's a level 10, super easy to go into. You should be going into it basically every game, or almost every game. Yeah, I would play 2, but I'll go into why I'm not in a minute here. Chaos Angel. Oh boy. Chaos Angel is a great card. For lots of reasons. You can Synchro Tuner it with a Uranus to have both effects, or you can just go into light, which is fine. You can go in this mid combo to disrupt your opponent. It's on field protection, beautiful card, super easy to go to. It's a level 10, awesome. 3,500 again is very strong. Cupid Pitch, one of the most important cards in the deck, but you only play one. You go into it, you Synchro Summon into it, you level modulate it down to 2 by using a level 2 tuner, and it being a Synchro Tuner does matter. When it's Synchro Summon with, you burn your opponent 1,000, and you search for a monster with level 8 or lower with exactly 600 defense from your deck to your hand, which again is your Neptune. So you search Neptune for extending your combo plays on your next turn. So good card, and I'll go into reason why this card is one of the most important cards in the deck in a second here as well. Pluto's really good, specifically when you're getting hand trapped. So you sit on Pluto, and you can disrupt your opponent harder by maybe just having this on field. And this is a disruption, this is a disruption. So not negating anymore without Baron to floor, but not a bad option to have. Because again, it's a Synchro Tuner. You wouldn't be making any crazy Synchro Tuner plays, but at the very least, you can go into maybe a level 8. It's also a dark, so you can go into certain Synchro plays with that. Next, I have Ancient Fairy Dragon. Yes, even with the errata, this card's good in this deck specifically. You can use the effect to special summon from your hand on your first turn if you really wanted to like extend, because it's not like you're going to battle failures anyway. But again, you just pop the field spell, you search for the Floodgate, and then yeah, it's pretty good. Without certain negate cards anymore, like disruptions, at least something. Yeah, do what you can. Beals of the Diabolic Dragons. This is for some of the heavy hitting decks that are out there. It's good to play against decks that play like towers or tower-like monster for sure. It's really good. It requires a Dark Tuner, which again is your Uranus, or you have Pluto for what it's worth. So good card. You could play Void Ogre Dragon instead of this. I did some experimentation with that too. If you have no cards in your hand, you can negate a spell or trap card on your opponent's field, but it gets a little clunky when you're adding a Neptune from your deck to your hand with the Cupid Pitch, so Beals comes up a little more than Void Ogre Dragon did for sure. Then the only non-light and dark monsters in the entire deck. This is the only non-light and dark monsters. We have the Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, the Stardust Dragon, and the Shooting Star Dragon. So Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, what it does is when it's summoned, it special summons from your graveyard to your field a level 2 tuner or lower, but it's gonna be a level 2 tuner. So like your Earth or yeah, probably like your Earth, or like it could be like Ringo Worm if you had it, but on your opponent's turn, you can quick effect synchro summon Stardust Dragon. It counts as a synchro summon. So special summon Stardust Dragon. It counts as a synchro summon, and then you can just keep the synchro summon Stardust Dragon, and keep it on field, or you can immediately synchro summon using this effect into the shooting star dragon with your Cupid pitch. So go search for your Neptune, burn your opponent for 1,000, and have a big negate on field and a boss monster to kill your opponent on your next turn. It also allows you to have built-in protection to whatever monsters are off this card. So we either have the Stardust Dragon, and it's immune to, let's see here, it's immune to activated effects from your opponents, or you can synchro into the shooting star and then again have that protection, and then it's negate, or it's to kill your opponent. Beautiful addition to the deck, really good. Psychic and Punisher. Again, a powerful boss monster in this deck because you're paying a ton of life points. On average, you'll be paying 15 to 3,000. If you're going to Ancient Fairy, you'll gain 1,000, but as long as your life points are lower than your opponent's, he's unaffected like Shooting Star Dragon would be. And on your battle phase, he gains the attack of the difference between your life points and your opponent's as long as your life points are lower. So he's a huge board wipe. Not a board wipe, but he's like a huge boss monster that should one-shot your opponent because he also has a built-in effect that says pay 1,000 to destroy cards on the field. So really strong card. Synchro 11, really easy to go into in this deck. Can't be caught without it. That's it for the synchro monsters. Going into the link monsters, I have 1 Moon. I was playing 2 for a while. 2 does come up, but for the time being, I got the 1 Moon because I'm doing some more experimentations with the link monsters too. Moon does the effect of sending Hyperion, Majesty, specifically to banish the Neptune, and then go through your combo plays that way because it special summons back. And then you can synchro summon from there, or you can link off to the next card to Parshath. So it's really good. It has another effect on field. If you had Cincture in the Sky, it can add Earth, but it's not relevant, super relevant. And then it can pop a card by tributing a monster too, which it can come up, but it's interesting. It's a good card. Another card the deck super needed, that's for sure. I'm playing Masquerena and SP Little Knight. This is why I'm only playing 1 Moon. It's because of this. So generic, if you get hand trapped to Oblivion, you can always go Masquerena, pass, make SP Little Knight do the plays on that. It's disruption at the very least. So plenty of ways to go into all these little disruption cards when you're getting hand trapped, and when you're not getting hand trapped, you end on things like Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, and you end on boards with summon limit, and you got you should have hand traps in hand. It does a lot. It does a lot of good things. It's super consistent. I could say that much, and it hits like a truck. Last two link monsters in the deck are Parshath. If you control a Sanctuary in the Sky, you can discard a card at any fairy from your deck to your hand. So this is where your Christia comes into play. But a lot of times I search for Uranus to continue my plays. It's really good. It also special summons a fairy monster from your deck to your hand. That's why the Christia is good. If a fairy monster would leave play from your field. And then lastly, Access Code Talker for damage output plays. If you're getting hand trapped and you just need a OTK your opponent, or at least try to push for game. Another card that can't be responded to a lot. So there's a common theme between Shooting Star Dragon, Psychic and Punisher, and Access Code Talker. These are 3 big hitters for sure. Apart from just, So anyway, that is the deck list for the end of 2024. I like to play around with the ratios again and see what I can do. Maybe put Eva back in now that it's legal again. It's, I've been playing this deck for so long, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Please click the like button, and I'll see you guys next time.